Hi guys, so I was just having a little play about with my cards, and actually these cards all fell out, and I thought this is such an important energy that I'm feeling at the moment, so I thought that I'd record my perception of it. So I mean, in no particular order, we've literally got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcanas, and then we've got the Queen of Swords and the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles. So what I'm looking at here is we've got the Moon, we've got the Death card, the Hanged Man, the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Hermit, and the World card. Okay, like I say, no particular order, because what's screaming out at me is such a transitional time for someone. It's so powerful. The Moon is indicating to me, and especially as the Emperor here, the Stag has got the moon, a crescent moon, whilst this rabbit, for example, can see the full moon. So it's like a version of what we've been shown, right, over a period of time. And the Eight of Pentacles in a tarot deck would always normally mean, you know, hard work, or putting from the normal tarot, what's it called, the Rider-Waite deck, that it's normally somebody putting a lot of work or effort in. So what I'm feeling here is a transitional time for somebody who has been putting a lot of effort in, and this isn't necessarily effort to yourself. This is effort for other people. This is about you trying to understand people and fit in with their values and their lives, where actually you've suddenly had this awakening that it's actually a reflection of you. You're almost like you're now starting to look at yourself as, wait a minute, aren't I supposed to be putting that work into myself? Am I not supposed to be, aren't people supposed to fit in with me, you know? And almost like that starting point as a stepping stone to recognize that whoever is actually going through this, they're seeing things through the eyes of your deeper self for the first time in a long time. And although we can feel like we have control, although we feel like we have the ability to trust our intuition, I feel this is way above that level. Okay, from what I'm feeling here, this is all about a brand new start of seeing the world through the eyes of wisdom. Look, because you've got the owl there as well. Almost like this chapter is for you, okay, and not for anybody who tries to take those parts of you, because it's so easily done, and it's not even intentional half the time. We just get stuck in routine or patterns and lose our focus, and, you know, try to prove ourselves to be who we, it's almost like we know who we are, yet the world makes us see ourselves through different eyes. And although we know who we are, we're basically trying to look at a perspective of ourselves through others' eyes and ignoring the truth about ourselves, because that's what the Hanged Man is telling me here. The Hanged Man is all about perspective. It's all about the seeing things from different points of view. It's being able to open up your consciousness the best way you can in this moment to adapt to different ways of being that your heart and soul is calling for you to do. And the Hermit, again, a very similar energy to the Hanged Man, but the Hermit is more like finding that within yourself, as opposed to sticking to the perspective of those who surround you. So whilst you're going through this huge transition and creating like a vision of self, you're leaving behind you the false versions, the masks, the fakeness. And I say fakeness because we all put on masks to be a version of ourselves who we want to be seen as, yet we rarely be the version of ourselves that we actually truly are, because it doesn't always match those around us. So we dim to fit in. The death card's really interesting here as well. Like, the death card here is, I see in the background this image of, I don't know, this ghoul or ghost or this thing looking at us. But then there's like not needing to pay attention to the demons of the past. And death talks about a transition of the mindset as well, and how this mystical, this cat, black cats represent mysticism, but how like it's very much highlighted over the third eye sort of chakra area. And it's almost like nothing can be hidden moving forward the way it's been hidden before. So if you've been through experiences, this is where the Queen of Swords steps in. If you've been through experiences in your life where you've lacked clarity and you've relied on everybody else to give you that closure or clarity, and you've taken their truth as your truth, but deep down you know that that truth doesn't really fully necessarily resonate with you, you've dimmed to fit into that person's perspective of truth. Whereas now you're starting to tell yourself who you are, your strengths, and working on those in order for you to create the foundation of the way you see the world and the way that you want the world to be. So it starts with how you see the world. It starts with how those people around you resonate with you, and vice versa. And it's like you use that as a stepping stone to get you to the next step. And then what comes after that is what you want. You tell yourself, the universe, what you want, and that is what you start to create. But you only know what you want based on knowing what you don't want, and that comes from the blessing of some of the experiences that you've had. That's how the truth is presented to us. The truth is presented to us based on the way we've seen the world through other people's eyes. And now it's time for us to create a version of our world through our eyes, and work on that and say, right, this is the experience I had last time, and I know that I can't have that experience again because this is how it made me feel. Even just saying that restricts that from coming back in. Your mind is your power, it's your creation. And if you say you're not worthy of anything else because of the experience you've just had, you're going to encourage that same experience back again. But not here. This is all about you growing through what you've been through. This is all about you being able to see the illusions as they're presented to you. And it's like red flag warning, red flag warning. You're a bullshit detector based on those experiences. And you can't, it's like your higher self will not allow you to stand there and accept this. You have already the firm boundaries and the firm lines. So this is all about having more faith in yourself. And yes, we do carry this with us because it's our experience, it's our truth. But it doesn't mean that we have to be bogged down by it. We don't have to be held back. We don't have to be the version that was already created before. We can actually see it for what it is and accept that the time has run out on that experience, and now it's time for a new chapter. So we turn over that egg timer and start our new chapter in the way we want to start it, by releasing the some negativities, some positivities of the past, but we take with us those lessons and use them to our advantage as our strengths. And that's such an amazing energy. Feels very much like the the new moon in Virgo as well at the moment. So, and I know I haven't done anything for that, but it feels like the very strong energy of almost like seeing yourself through the eyes of who you truly are and taking back your power. if I could numb it down, I can't even say the words. If I can narrow it down into that one sentence, that would be the whole reading right now. So let's just get a couple of little messages on the side, because you know I like doing that as well. I don't even know where to go. Where should we go? Let's go here. Work Your Light Oracle cards. I do prefer the smaller versions because they're easier to shuffle, and I don't read the meanings like the tarot books and stuff, but I do read the meanings of the oracle cards because I think they hold valuable information. Okay, so as messages for the collective right now, just with this energy that I'm feeling, we've got wait, postpone, pause, and say no. And this is very much like the Tower energy card, where it's like releasing all those things from the back. That's the boundaries that I'm talking about. It's all about having the power to step back, observe the situation, and recognize, can I walk through that? Shall I hold back? Shall I see what happens in the aftermath? It's all about reservation, like reserving yourself in order for you to witness the things around you and giving yourself a clear path forward. And in order to see a clear path forward, we have to wait for the clouds to move out of the way, and that takes observation. And it's interesting because this is almost like a same sort of path energy if you look at the imagery. So this path is like no, and this one is like you're in a temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So it's like very much turning away from the chaos and the destruction and enabling yourself to see things through the eyes of love. And I know it's hard to see things fully from the eyes of love, because we're human beings and spiritual beings. We are what we want to be, and we create that that reality for ourselves. We've got unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Very much like the death card here, we can feel attached to, and like the Tower energy, we can feel attached to people, places, things, experiences, habits, other patterns. We can feel attached to them because it's what we know. Actually letting ourselves go and putting our trust in our higher self and the universe, it's at that stage to do that now. And I think there's a lot in the collective, especially the ones who will probably be listening to this, who have felt, a little bit standstill for quite a time now. And it's almost like when we're stood still for such a long time, it becomes like we feel uncertain, or there's an irritation, or we're frustrated with ourselves, or we blame ourselves. It's time for us to release that stagnant energy and take a leap forward by following the guidance of your heart. See, for me, for example, I keep saying to myself, I start university in October, and I'm using this as a pause, a pause before I get stuck into things. But actually, I'm not one of those people who likes to stand still, so I haven't actually had rest. I've been doing lots of stuff through the so-called pause, but equally I've been reflecting on a lot of things that have been, my past and what's defined me as a person and my choices, and I think it's very, important to recognize that we are the whole of it, and we're not just a part of it. We brought something to the table in that connection or connections or experiences, and we also took from it as well. And we get to choose what we take. We get to choose what we move forward into. I'm just playing with the cards because it's just something to do while I'm talking. And it is now about following your guidance, your inner guidance. because you already have the truth, the clarity, you see everything as clear as day. So it's time for you to stop going around in that circle and reflecting on it the way that, you know, you're it's not your truth, it's others' truths, it's the things that have been projected in front of you that you feel, well, do I take that or do I not take that? And it's time to just trust in what your inner version is and now move from that, because that's where your next adventure lies, and it's going to be a good one. Through that door, through that portal, it's going to be a good one. Let's get the crystal oracle, astral realms crystal oracle, to give us a message to close this off. Resolve and consciousness at the bottom. That's the third eye chakra. So let's do both of those. So let's go to resolve first. That's number 32. Confidence, assurance, and settled. Your strength and discernment have led you this far, and the action you take next will determine how your life unfolds. There you go, sums it up. There are no right or wrong decisions. There is just an underlying confidence that you have what it takes to get through any situation along your journey. No one else has been where you have been, and no one else is able to give you the answers. So you must have faith and belief in yourself that your resolve is the most beneficial. The asteroid Vesta holds pure, fiery goddess energy that is a representation of igniting your inner flame, fueling your aspiration to achieve and accomplish. Vesta is your potential at its finest. It is your life force and your essence, and will make you understand that all the decisions you have made up to this point have brought you to this very moment. Remain steadfast for the remainder of this journey until you embark on the next one. Take Desert Jasper with you to the finish line, as it carries the energetic frequencies of the fire element that encourage a confident, calm, and decisive nature that urges you to take action. Desert Jasper contains an extremely grounding frequency that will center your mind, allowing you to connect to your head and heart while making decisions you can feel secure and enthusiastic about. That's amazing. And the second one, and that's very much like observation energy, and the second one was consciousness, clarity, awareness, and deep knowing. Okay, and that's exactly what this was all about as well. Consciousness has many layers that all relate to your state of awareness. Are you proactively aware of what you feel, observe, and experience? Do you process experiences more subconsciously via dreams, or are you fully aware and transcending into higher consciousness by accessing your higher self and intuition consciously and subconsciously? In order to access the different levels of your consciousness, you must be able to open and activate your third eye chakra, which is located in your pineal gland high in the center of your forehead. Your third eye chakra is the bridge between you and wisdom that leads to incredible insight. This higher level of consciousness offers you a dose of deep understanding and knowing that already exists within you. Lapis lazuli is a powerful stone for creativity and strengthens clarity in thinking and communication. It opens up your third eye to welcome in enlightenment and helps you arrive at your true spiritual destiny. When lapis lazuli activates your third eye chakra, it allows you to access the deep knowledge that is embedded in your higher consciousness, enabling you to be the ultimate truth seeker. That is such an amazing message for this right now. I feel like I want to go in with a divine feminine message as well. So excuse me while I make a mess. So divine feminine message for the collective right now in this energy that we're feeling. The goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. So let's have a look at her message and then we will close off. That's 194. Your moja creates a flow where before there was a block or a stagnation in our life force. That's what I was feeling midst this energy. When we feel uninspired or stuck in life or in a creative endeavour. From having a child to writing a book, your moja is the feminine essence that sets our energy back in motion. As a mermaid, she exists both in the world and also in the unseen depths. She can help us dive down deep into the unconscious or into the collective unconscious and retrieve the hidden secrets or the wise pearls that we need to integrate now for our life to flow again. As the Queen of the Ocean, she baptizes us to start over, to begin again right now, to let everything become brand new. She encourages us to use water as a ritual to send out our offerings to her, to bless our bodies in a warm bath, or to walk along a body of water and allow its perspective to give us the answer or blessing we seek. Umoja wants to cleanse us of the thoughts that are holding us back. Why do children calm down after a bath? Why do we feel healed and more centered after a nice long soak? Water is the element that held us in the womb. The return to our first and most primal element, the loss of gravity, the freedom of buoyancy. This allows us to release feelings or thoughts of being trapped or stuck. Umoja reminds you to use your tail. You are not of this earth, you are of the sea. And I hope that this message today has given some form of clarity for somebody else out there as well, just to, step into that new level of being instead of and again, remember the observations, just being able to kind of see things as they are and use that to your advantage moving forward, and step into that new way of being, that higher level of consciousness, and trust in the conscious and the subconscious parts of you, because that is what makes us, right? I would love to hear your thoughts on this, and if it resonated with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Take care, see you soon, bye.